Hello everybody. So today I'm going to do a little review of my Vespa Gts300 after driving it a mere 500 kilometers. I'm very happy with this scooter. I've had scooters in the past, the PX200, P200E, PX125, T5, all Vespas, and Lambretta as well. So this is my first automatic Vespa, and it's perfect. If you find your hips are a little bit bad, or maybe your fingers are not great for operating a clutch, or maybe your feet are sore, this is perfect. You just sit on it, twist the throttle, and away you go. So I'm really happy with this machine. So in the 500 kilometers I've ridden it, I found that the suspension is fine. It doesn't have the wobble. I know the slightly older, the Vespa GTSs from a number of years back had a bit of a wobble if you let go of the bars. Don't let go of the bars. Like, you know, why are you letting go? Why are you taking both your hands off the bars anyway? But yeah, people said, so Vespa adjusted the suspension to help with that problem. So, you know, it's a great scooter. Seating position. I have a bad back, so you can see that. I can take it off the side stand. Seating position. My hip and back is bad. Throw my leg over the motorbike. Not great. So the Vespa, there you go. You're on. So simple. So simple. And comfortable. You can have your feet here. You can have your feet here. You can have your feet here. You can sit back. You know, give your feet more of a stretch. You find your knees, if you're on a long trip, you can stretch your knees out. You know, you can adjust your back. If you're sitting here, your back's this way. If you're sitting here, you know, you're sitting a bit straighter. For me, not so comfortable, but you know, if you're sitting back a bit, you can actually pull on the bars a little bit, and that helps to straighten the muscles here. It helps to keep everything fairly tense, which I find good. Some people like to relax. If you want to relax, sit forward. Passenger foot pegs are located here. The only thing that has been said to me by my passenger was, try and do this. So a passenger sitting on the bike, okay, the legs are not straight. They're out like this to go around the casings, and their feet tend to hit yours. But you can buy pegs that bring their feet back here. You can buy additional pegs. They're about €100, and they're well worth investing in. You know. So overall, the scooter looks fabulous. I'll get the camera and I'll show you some close-ups and a few details. So one of the newer things on the Vespa would be this ignition. Ignition is no longer a key, it's this switch. And you have a fob, an electronic fob, which if you have close to the scooter will recognize the fob and activate. So there's your fob. Okay, so if you have the scooter in your pocket, the scooter will recognize it. You press this button here, and then your dash will say welcome, and it'll tell you you can turn on your ignition. You go back down here, you turn to ignition on, it goes through the tests, and you're ready to start. This means you haven't got your kill switch right. So push a kill switch, that'll go out, pull in your brake, and your scooter starts. Nice and quiet with the original exhaust. Very quiet with the original exhaust. Too quiet for me. That's my personal thing. Now, glove box. A smaller glove box that would be on the PXs. This one's smaller, but push in again, your switch. Push in, opens up your glove box. Inside your glove box, you have space for a number of things. You can get a phone in there, you can get a pair of sunglasses or a pair of gloves. And here, you also have here a USB port. So you can charge up your phone or your sat nav while you're driving. Some people get an accessory that goes here, which means you can have the cable, because there's no other way of, unless you drill a hole. You don't want to do that to your lovely new Vespa. The usual things, you have your hook for bags, or maybe you want to carry a spare helmet. Just be careful using that with a helmet that you don't scratch your bodywork. Okay, up here you have your switch, which, as you can see, is a lock-unlock switch. This unlocks your saddle. Underneath here you have your petrol filler, and you have a fairly big pet carrier or under seat tray. Now in that I have my tools, I have my lock, I have my camera bag, a hat, and some other stuff, you know, so it's quite big. You will get a small open face helmet in, you won't get full face helmets in, which doesn't bother me. I carry my helmets, no problem. You have an area here for a seat cover to go in, or maybe some of the small stuff you want to put in there, and locks down there. LED lights, nice LED lights, and this is a carbon fiber, not real carbon fiber, it's just a carbon fiber effect on plastic, but it looks well, it's nice. Again, something here I'm going to change. This model originally comes with this color stripes here, and at the back you also have a matching stripe here. I didn't like the stripes, so for me I took them off. This is the Supersport. The next one after that is a Super Tech. Supersport has phone connectivity. I've never used it because I'm not interested in connecting my phone. It's a scooter, you know. It's for me, I don't want to be connecting things. But if you do connect your phone, you have a toggle switch here, which will toggle through certain different things. You'll see it's toggling through as I press it. It's going through the different settings, you know, and it'll give you your average speed and, you know, stuff like how many kilometers remaining. And there's a way of connecting it to your phone, stuff like that. Standard horn, normal. ASR system, which is the traction control system, and it has ABS, which is an anti-brake lock system. So it has all the stuff. This one has different mirrors to the other models. I find those mirrors are grand. I can see behind my arms, and I'm not a skinny fella, so they do work. If it was a smaller fella, I could definitely see more of the road. I can see half with a little bit of elbow. If I move my elbows in, no problem. Nice, very interesting rear LED light, which looks pretty cool. And you have your standard 12-inch wheels. And if you come around here, slightly changed front mudguard or fender, and in here is the new setup, the new suspension setup. And this bar here in there is the new trick for getting the suspension to not wobble so much and to handle the bumps a bit better, and improve brakes back and front. They have improved brake calipers. There's a close-up of those rear foot pegs, which are very neat the way they fold in, but you can buy ones that bring them back to about here, which gives you a little bit more room for the rider and the passenger. So some things I'm going to change. I'm going to spray that black to to match the theme of the bike. And of course you can get all sorts of extras. You can get rear racks. You can get a rack that sits here, which is very handy if you're going touring and you wanted to hold a petrol can or an extra bag. You can get a front rack. You can get heated grips. You know, there's so many things you can get. So many accessories. So, anything I don't like? Well, maybe. This switch, I prefer the key, in my opinion. This switch, if you look, try and get you to see. It's already, doesn't feel good to me. I don't know how long that's going to last. I'll have to find some information about those switches. But that's one thing I don't like. That feels very slim, flimsy already. And that's in a 4-month-old bike. You know, turn it off. Okay. So that's something that I need to check up on. You also get a key fob. I haven't got it on me today. Tiny little key fob, about this size. And if you lose your key, the key fob is the master key, the tiny little plastic key you get with the bike. Don't think that's not important. That is your master. Do not lose that. But if you lose the key that I showed you, the fob key, you can, there's a little Wi-Fi, where are we? Just there. There's a little Wi-Fi. If you hold a little plastic fob up to that, you'll be able to start your bike and ride it as normal. So if you ever lose your main key, well, your big key, you can get your master key and start your bike. Also, if your main key battery runs out, if your fob battery runs out, I'll show you this fob again. If your fob battery runs out, here's your fob. Okay, if that battery runs out, you can also hold that up here and it will activate your bike, even with the dead battery. Okay, on this we have a button here. Press this button and it opens up your seat. In here you also have a release just here. This is a release for your seat. If for some reason you can't open your seat, this is the manual release, a cable. You'll hear the seat clicking and the seat is now open. So that's a little something. So that's a quick rundown of the Vespa Gts300 Supersport model. Personally, I prefer a model with a key, with an old-fashioned key. But it is what it is. I got it at a fantastic price, so I couldn't say no. That's the only thing. Everything else on it is wonderful. The only thing I'd go against would be the key fob system, the electronic key fob. Give me a metal key any day. But there you go, that's the Vespa GTS 300 2023 Supersport version. And I think you'll agree, it's a pretty fabulous looking scooter. And if you want to play at buying extras, there's an absolute ton of extras you can buy for this scooter. You could spend many more euros or dollars on accessorizing your scooter. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching my little impromptu review, unscripted. I just came somewhere, I stopped and I said I'll do a little review of the bike. So that's the scooter. After 500 kilometers, there's now 3,000 kilometers. I bought it with 2,500 on it. So that's my review after 500 kilometers, and I am extremely pleased with this machine. Previous models, a few years ago, I think 21, 22, did have petrol pump problems. This model, we'll wait and see. Okay, petrol pump's replaceable, but hopefully with an almost new bike I won't have petrol pump problems. But that's for a future post, if it does happen. Let's see. Thanks for watching. I always appreciate any subscribers I can get. So if you want to see more of my meanderings and some more scooter stuff on the channel, please give me subscriptions. Cost you nothing. You can subscribe to me and toddle off down the road and never watch my stuff again, but I would really appreciate it. Again, my name is Harry and the channel is Moto Latvia. Greetings from Latvia.